Hello neighbor, this is Curt with etrailer, and today we're going to take a look at the Benton Shifts and Grins for 4 bikes on our 2025 Nissan Rogue. Now if you've had any experience with this bike rack, or if you have questions about it after watching this video, go ahead and leave those in the comments below. We love to take those and share them with our other neighbors in order to help them make the best decisions for themselves. Now the Benton Shifts and Grins is a 4-bike platform rack that is going to allow you to carry up to 55 pounds per bike. So that means some of your lighter weight e-bikes are going to be able to be used on this as well. And one of the great things about this bike rack is its versatility. So it can be used either as a frame or a wheel mount. So if you have a bike with fenders on it, you could always remove the hook, move this over, and give it a frame mount. If you have a bike that has a custom paint job or a carbon fiber frame, that is where the wheel mount would probably be your best option. So being able to switch that back and forth adds a lot of versatility, especially if you're going on a ride with folks that have multiple different types of bikes. Pretty much anybody can put their bike on this platform rack and be able to travel with you. So some of the really nice extra features of this bike rack is that it does come with a hitch alignment collar. So once you have this in your hitch, you can set this collar so that every time you're putting it in your hitch, you have it lined up perfectly with your hitch pinhole. The hitch pin itself is going to be a special threaded hitch pin, so it's going to help a lot with anti-rattle. However, anytime I'm using a hitch accessory, I also add the etrailer anti-rattle hitch collar. This combined actually gives us really solid state inside of our hitch receiver. Nothing here is moving at all. In fact, you probably see the vehicle moving, but that's going to reduce a lot of the added vibration and noise that you might get coming through your bike rack as you're traveling. Now, as far as how this is going to fit on your Nissan Rogue, we only have 1 bike on today. If we had 4 bikes loaded up, it would probably be blocked a lot more, but for the sake of showing you easily, we are going to have your license plate is going to be partially blocked. Your rear view camera is definitely going to be blocked for the most part. You have decent visibility of the taillights as far as other drivers go, but those are a little bit blocked as well. So just bear all of that in mind as you're driving down the road. It's always good to know what other people are seeing just to keep everybody safe. And one of the other things is that we really have a large frame bike on this rack today. And we really aren't coming close anywhere in here to it, interfering as you're going down the road. So I'm not really worried about this knocking against the vehicle either. And one of the big questions that you probably have is, can I get into my lift gate? And the answer is yes, sort of. But you're going to be able to tilt this bike rack down so we can get into the lift gate. Now, before I show the tilt-away feature, there is something that you want to keep in mind. This 4-bike rack is going to weigh over 100 pounds, around 115 or 116 pounds. If you've got loaded at 55 pounds per bike, you're really looking at almost 350 pounds of weight back here. So whenever you are doing the tilt-away feature, always use this handle, always brace up, make sure you're watching your head. There is a rubber pad here in case we end up hitting the ground. And in the case of the Rogue, we are hitting the ground, and that's really because the hitch location on the Nissan Rogue is so low. So resting on the ground like this, we've tilted it away from our lift gate. Now we'll be able to get this opened up. And as you can see, we are going to run into some interference right there. Now again, this is a large frame bike with wide handlebars, something smaller. We might be able to get some clearance there, but in this case, unfortunately, we do not, and that's really because this 4-bike rack comes out so far from the vehicle, it has to touch the ground and rest before it could go completely down. But that being said, I can get in here still. I can get some things that I need out of the back. It's just I'm going to have to watch my head while I'm doing it. So because we're losing all of that visibility out of the back, it is a good idea to know just what kind of footprint this is leaving. So from the farthest part of the bumper to the farthest part of the rack, we're at 51.5 inches. So that's well over 4 feet of just extra stuff back here behind your vehicle. So make sure you keep that in mind whenever you're backing into a space, trying to park, whatever it may be. There's an awful lot of space back here to be taken up and be aware of. The other thing we do want to double check is just what is our ground clearance. So ground clearance is going to be about 16.5 inches to here. Because the hitch is low to the ground and it sticks out so far, if there is a steep enough hill or driveway, you might actually get some ground contact, but generally speaking, 16 inches is a pretty darn good amount. It's just something that you ought to be aware of. Now, when you're traveling without your bikes, we do have a stowaway position on the Benton Shifts and Grins as well. I'm going to remove the bike first by just depressing that button and removing our ratcheting wheel strap here in the back. I'll come around and do the same here in the front. And once I have those removed, I can go ahead and remove my hook and arm. Now that that's done, I'm going to be able to lift my bike up and out of the way. So in order to put it in its stowed position, we're going to use the same button we used for the tilt down. We'll grab it by the handle here, depress it in, and it'll lift right into place until it clicks. Once it clicks, it's in an upright and stowed position, and we're able to travel with it. Now, as you can see, we're going to get, again, more obscurity to our tail lights. Our rear view camera and our license plate are almost completely blocked. So with it in its upright position, there is going to be some visibility issues. What I might recommend, actually, is that if you are going to be driving with it without wanting to remove it, if you don't like, the visibility you're losing because of this, this is a 2-bike add-on for this. So you can actually remove the end 2 spots here. These are going to be attached through this knob to tighten it down and this U-shaped pin here. So I'm going to remove the pin. Loosen our knob. So we got those loosened up. We're going to grab it by the handle here and simply remove it. And once you have that removed, we can fold it up into its stowaway position, and now all of those visibility issues are going to be gone. So if you're not generally riding around with 4 bikes or taking trips with 4 bikes, the ability to take that off and really just kind of shrink the footprint back here of the bike rack is a huge bonus as well. So with the versatility and compatibility, I think the Benton Shifts and Grins is an excellent choice for your 2025 Nissan Rogue. I'm Curt with eTrailer. Thanks for stopping by.